So good morning. Well, we feel like it's been a long time since I've taught, and I guess it has. But I wanted to read this story. Some of you have heard this before, but some of you may not have. And usually I just kind of make it up. But this is actually where I got it. It's from Way of the Peaceful Warrior. And it's just a story about an old man and his son worked a small farm with only one horse to pull the plow. One day the horse ran away. How terrible, sympathized the neighbors. What bad luck. Who knows whether it's bad luck or good luck, the farmer replied. A week later, the horse returned from the mountains, leading 5 wild mares into the barn. What wonderful luck, said the neighbors. Good luck, bad luck, who knows, answered the old man. The next day, the son, trying to tame one of the horses, fell and broke his leg. How terrible, what bad luck. Bad luck, good luck. The army came to all the farms to take the young men for war, but the farmer's son was of no use to them, so he was spared. Good, bad. So sometimes things happen to us and we want to label them good or bad, but if you just embrace all of what happens, then life is a lot more fun. So as we traveled, of course, a lot of things happened, but we just enjoyed it anyway. So I'll give you a couple of things that happened. So our flight got canceled, of course, from Cedar Rapids to Florida. So we ended up, they sent us an email. We've canceled your flight, but we've got you rescheduled for Saturday. We're supposed to fly out Thursday morning, and this is on Wednesday. Luckily, it was on Wednesday, because then I was like, no, Saturday's not going to work. So I called them, and we got rescheduled out of Chicago for Thursday morning. But as you remember, we had a ice storm Wednesday night. So Mike and I white knuckle drove to Chicago in the ice storm to fly out. And then things went pretty well from there. But when we got to Sedona, where we were supposed to hike every day, it turns out we had a record-breaking snowfall. So 11 inches, not even a snow shovel in the whole city, I swear. And my friend Helen had driven her mom's car from California to Sedona, and it was parked on the driveway, and a tree fell on the car because the snow was so heavy. Not only did a tree fall in the car, but a huge tree fell in the backyard. Luckily, it didn't break anything, but it just, we got one day of hiking in, but it was still a riot because we're in this house with 7 ladies, and we drank a lot of wine and we laughed a lot. We solved the problems of the world. So you just never know. Good, bad, you may as well not label it. It was all good. So close your eyes and really take a few moments to notice your breath. Feel the inhale come in through your nostrils, move down through your throat. Feel it filling your lungs. And notice the warmth of the exhale. One more like that. Just really draw it in deeply. And let it go completely. In Hatha Yoga, We're taught to embrace all aspects of our life. And every part of the poses, it's really just about being present, being there for your life as it's happening. Please bring hands to heart center. May we all feel that everything that happens serves a greater purpose, part of the plan, if you will. If we're able to look at things that way, then much easier to see the beauty and feel the grace. Please lower your hands, open your eyes, and go ahead and start in child's pose, if you will. I'm gonna turn these lights down a little bit. And maybe walk your fingertips out in front of you. Lift your shoulders, your armpits, your elbows, come up on fingertips. And then come on up to all fours. We did some of this last time we were together. So just lift your right leg up to the side and notice how your left hip wants to come out to the other side and your left shoulder wants to come forward. So try to not allow that to happen. So draw the left hip in so the hip stays square. Maybe your knee won't raise as high. Get the shoulders even. And then when you feel like, oh, okay, I'm stable, we move the knee in a circle. Just warm up that hip. And come on down. And try the other side. So just let anything go when you lift that knee the first time. And then think, okay, I'm going to stabilize. I'm going to square up. And then when you feel supported, then maybe move the knee in a circle. Really stable front and side body. Just warm up the hip. Good. And release. And just move through a few cow cats. And again, just think, oh, I'm supported. So I'm just moving the spine up and down. The shoulders and the hips support me. So I can really move in the spine. And try and move with your breath a few times. Poor Artemis has been very lonely without me. And then pause with a flat back and think of that support on your hips as you extend the right leg straight back. And just notice the shoulders, the hips really supporting it. So it feels like your legs just suspended there, kind of. If you will, draw the low belly up, lengthen the spine, and then maybe add in the left arm. If you're really feeling supported, that'll feel natural. One more breath. Now bring just the hand down. Keep the hips just as they are and bring the right leg across to the left side. You're still supported in the hips and in the core, and then maybe twist and look at that foot. So nothing changes. You're just kind of stretching out the right side of your body. And come on back in. Other side. Then the left leg, feel like you're supporting it with the right hip. Your shoulders are really engaged. Just kind of suspended there. Add in the right arm if you'd like. One more breath. Bring just the right hand down. Bring the left foot across to the opposite side. I like to get the ball of the foot down. Feel like you're still supported. The right hip supporting you. The left hip is stretching. And then maybe twist and look. And then come on back. Nice. Come on up to standing. I'm going to have you grab your blocks and have them handy. So come up to the front. And I'm just going to have you bring a block right between your upper thighs. And then between your hands. Squeeze the block. So you feel like you're really supported. Squeeze the block between your hands and stretch your arms up. Feel your core really engaged. And now keep everything supported like that as you arc to your right. And come on up and arc to your left. And come back to center. And release the block between your hands. Keep the block between your hips. And I'm just going to have you inhale, stretch your arms up. Exhale, twist to your right and bring the arms down, but keep squeezing the block. Good. Feels different, right? Inhale, come back to center. Exhale, twist to left. Just do that a couple more times. Inhale, center. Exhale, twist. Inhale, center. Exhale, twist. Inhale, center. Exhale, hands to your heart center. Ooh, feels good, right? But it just worked. Now just set your blocks to the front of your mat for a moment. And standing on your right foot, I think I'm going to support. Shoulders are supported, everything's facing straight ahead, and then lift the left knee. See if you can keep that. Bring just the left hand on the left knee. Your right hand can come out to the side, and then widen the knee. Keep that support going, and hover the foot and let go, and maybe bring it to tree pose. Feel that support. Use your glutes. Good, and then come on out. I had to fall. You can come out slowly if you want. So when I lift my hips, sometimes, let's try the other side. I'll feel like my hips lifting or lowering. So just notice that. So stand on the left foot, bring the right foot up. See if you can keep everything level and engaged. Grab the knee, bring it off to the side, cover it, and then maybe heel to bone, tree pose. Feel that support, like you have those blocks between your thighs and between your hands to keep you stable. And then come out slowly if you can. Try not to lift a hip higher than the other. And come on down. Whew. Good job. Come on up to the front of your mat and have your blocks handy. I'm going to do this sideways so you can check me if I'm bringing one knee forward or not. We're going to do chair pose. So stretch your arms up and bring them to heart center as you sit down. Your feet are hip distance. And just ask yourself, am I supporting myself, inner and outer hips, knees, feet, core, shoulders really engaged? Sit a little deeper. And then twist to your right and see if you can keep the left knee in the same position. So you may not go as deep. Just hover the elbow above the knee. Just keep checking. Am I moving my knees? My hips are stable. Come back to center. Regroup and go to the left side. Hover the right knee above the left thigh. Don't let the right knee come forward. Good. Come back to center. Reach down, touch the floor. Straighten the legs. Forward fold. And forward fold. Artie, leave her alone. And then placing your hands on the blocks, step the right foot back to a deep lunge. And here, I used to really get kind of, I'd sway my hips one way or the other. I'm not sure which. And then at one point I noticed that, and I started really securing the hips so they stay square. Secure the shoulders so they stay square. So you feel super supported, and then lower the back knee. Feel the front foot really grounded. Bring your hands to the front knee. Come up. So just notice if you want to tip one way or the other. Can you support it? And maybe extend your arms. Anjaneyasana. Good. Touch down. Lift the back knee. Step forward to switch. Left foot back. And one side might be a different than the other. So just kind of notice. Take a moment to notice. I always check to see if my toes are pointing straight ahead too. Secure the hips, secure the shoulders. When you feel really supported by the feet and legs, then lower the back knee. Hug to the midline, hands to the front knee. Stretch up, Anjaney. And please touch down. Just step the blocks out of the way for a moment. Lift the back knee and step back to a downward facing dog. And again, just kind of notice, you bend your knees and get your sit bones back and up. Support the hips, lengthen the spine, support the shoulders. Then when you go into the full pose, you feel really supported by the limbs, by the core. And then come forward to a plank pose and see if you can still keep that level of support feeling. And then lower your knees. Now, see if you can keep the elbows right above the wrists as you slide your heart forward and lower down. Good. Stretch your feet long. And lift to a little baby cobra. Try not to use your hands too much in this first one. Just feel length and connection. One more breath. And lower down. Push all the way back to child's pose. And then come forward, curl your toes under, lift to downward facing dog, that nice supported down dog. And just walk it out, bend one knee and the other. Turns out that people don't really know how to drive in Arizona in snow. So we had one night where we helped push out a lot of people that were stuck. It was kind of fun, really. The snow is beautiful. Cup your feet to your hands. Forward fold. Inhale, pranam. Exhale, fold. Inhale, sweep and rise. Exhale, hands to heart center. They don't even know to get out of their car and push. It was funny. Okay, we're gonna do a sequence now, and I want you to think about that support in each one of the poses and how you can better support yourself. So inhale, stretch up. Exhale, fold forward. I'm gonna use my blocks here just in case I want them. Inhale, pranam. Exhale, fold. Step your left foot back, deep lunge. Support, lower the back knee. Inhale to Anjane Asana. On your next exhale, touch down. Lift the back knee. You might want to use your blocks here on the higher height because you're going to lift the hips up and back. Keep the same support going. Straighten the right leg to pyramid pose. Feel that support. Feel the square. Feel the feet hugging towards each other. Good. Bend back into the front knee. Feel that support. Maybe bring the hands to the front knee and lift to crescent warrior. Feel all four corners of the foot really grounded, even though the back foot, the heel is lifted, probably high. You can feel that you're still using those muscles in the whole foot. Good, bring hands to heart center. Keep the action going, support, twist to your right. Just hover the elbow for this variation. Good, come back to center. Ground the back foot down, transition to a warrior two. Keep the support happening. So this, for me, I'm hugging the right hip in, but I'm trying to keep the sits bone back. Feels really safe and good. Shoulders. Good. Now transitioning to Parsvakonasana. So either elbow to knee or hand to the block. Stretch the left arm up. Stretch it over by the ear. Nice. You guys keep the back foot grounded. Beautiful. Good. One more breath. And on your inhale, come back to warrior two. Just check, are you still supporting? Reverse warrior. The left arm down, right arm up. Straighten the front leg. And come to triangle. Keep that support going. Nice. Lengthening your spine. Good. Bend into the front knee. We'll touch down with the left hand, turn the left heel up. Lower the back knee. And then you'll see, maybe this isn't going to happen, but maybe it is. I want you to feel support in the shoulders and in the hips. Bend the left knee, reach back with the right hand, see if you can find the foot. Hug heel to knee, knee to heel. Get a little quad stretch going. And then maybe if you're feeling like you're very supported, you can twist to the right a little bit. Good. Release the foot, unwind. Move the blocks to the side, lift the back knee, and step back, downward facing dog. Come forward to plank. Now either lower the knees to lower down, because I want you to keep the elbows above the wrists as you lower to the mat. Stretch the feet long, cobra. Oh, is she biting you? And lower down. You got the wrong spot, Connie. Curl the toes, push back, downward facing dog. And just for fun, extend the left leg, feel support, and step it through deep lunge. Go this way so you can see. Support yourself, lower the back knee. Feel like everything's square, stretch up Anjaneyasana. Feel all four corners of that left foot. Very good, touch down. Lift the back knee, straighten the left leg, but be really mindful you're supporting yourself everywhere. Pyramid pose. Maybe your knee doesn't straighten all the way. Just make sure the hips stay square. Everything looks lined up. Heels and sits bones lined up. Toes pointing forward. Good. Bend into the front knee. Feel that support. Hands to the front thigh. Come on up. Crescent. Feel the support. Feel really connected. Hands to heart center. Don't change anything in the lower body as you twist to your left. Hover the elbow above the knee. Unwind, ground the back foot down, warrior two. Just check, is your back foot all the way supporting you? Your left hip is really supporting you, inner and outer, but your sit bone is attempting to stay back. Parsvakonasana, either elbow to knee, the block, to the floor. Still feel the support. Good, come back, warrior two. Reverse it, right arm down, left arm up. Straighten the front leg. And make your way, triangle pose. You're still feeling supported and connected by your legs, by your shoulders, by your spine. Good. Bend the front knee. Touch the right hand down to the block. Turn the back heel up. Lower the right knee. Now feel really connected everywhere. Really supported. And the right knee, reach back. See if you can find the foot. Don't let anything change. You're still hugging to the midline. It's a big quad stretch and maybe twist if it's feeling all right. Play with kicking the foot into your hand and pulling the hand back into the foot. Then release the foot, unwind, step back, downward, facing dog. I'm putting the blocks out of the way. Inhale to plank. Now, if it's easier for you to keep the elbows above the wrist, lower the knees first. Or if you can, keep the shoulders supported, lower down through chaturanga to the mat. Stretch the feet long, cobra. Stay for one more breath. And lower down. And push back to child's pose. This time, bring your hands under your forehead. And then come on up to standing, please. Let's try our balancing again now that we've got all that remembrance. So stand on your right foot. Bring your left knee up. Turn it out. Come to tree pose. And just feel the support. And just pause there for a moment. I want you to feel really connected and supported. And then bring your right arm up. Your left hand just hovers above your knee. And maybe try an arc towards that lifted knee. Shoulders support you, hips support you. Good, come on back up. And release. Woohoo! I always love that one because it's really hard, for me anyway. So let's switch sides. Just play with it. Bring it out, just think support. My shoulders support me just as much as my hips. Left arm up. And perhaps arc. We all have our little nuances. My ankle on the side is really a piece of crap. So I have to really support it there. Good, and come on out. Yeah, and come back to the front. Stretch up. And fold forward. Inhale, pranam. And fold. Have your blocks just kind of measure. So if they're on the outside of your feet, that's the width. And then bring them forward so that it feels like your wrists are right under your shoulders. And just put them there just in case you need them. You may not need them. And then step your right foot back to a deep lunge. And come up, crescent warrior. Feel that support. I just want you to really work on that. Feel like I'm supported through my hips, my core, my shoulders. Stretch the arms up. And now bring hands to heart center. Lean forward so you feel like your weight's more on your left foot. Maybe take a step forward to your right and come to a supported warrior 3. Maybe even extend the arms if you're feeling it. Your blocks are there in case you need them. Remember that feeling of just support so that your leg just feels like it's lifted. Good, touch it down. Back to warrior, crescent warrior, and touch down. Well, step back, downward dog. If you fell out of it, just say, oh, whatever happens, it's all a learning experience and it's all good. Don't beat yourself up. Either child's pose or vinyasa. Come forward to plank. Keep the elbows above the wrist. Slide your heart forward. Cobra. Lower. Downward facing dog. Then the right leg, step it through. Deep lunge. Or however you can get it there. Feel supported as you make your way up crescent warrior. Hips support you, shoulders support you, feet really support you. Core supports you, hands to heart center. Lean forward, shift your weight. Maybe lift the back leg with all that support. Bend the arms if you're feeling it. And touch back down. Crescent warrior. And touch down. Please step forward, forward fold. Inhale, pranam. Exhale, fold. Take a moment to check in. And step back to a downward facing dog. And go ahead and lower your knees. And just make sure your knees are at least in the middle of your mat. And you might need a blocker or blanket here because, boy, I know my ankles haven't been stretched for a while. And sit back either on the blocker blanket or if you can sit between your heels to the mat for Virasana. And then just check if you feel supported here. So are your hips even? It's really hard for my right hip to get down because of my right ankle. So I have to really kind of see, can I be even? Can I make that side even with the other? Maybe you can feel good enough to go back to your elbows. Lift your heart a little bit. There you go. Keep the curve. Maybe even back ahead. The arms. I'm supporting myself though through the whole process. Some people, the knees won't allow this to happen. That's just totally fine. So you just stay where it feels comfortable. And then leading with your heart, small and back up. And come up to all fours. Ooh-hoo-hoo. And just do a couple cow cats. And then make your way to a downward facing dog. Oh, yeah, you can still feel your feet, right? Walk your dog out. Feel the knuckle mounds really grounded. Feel your shoulders supported, your hips supported. Come forward to plank. And then either knees down to the belly or see if you can go slowly through chaturanga. Elbows right above the wrists to the mat. Cobra. He just wants to be by people. And come on down. Okay, bend your knees. See if you can find your feet. And then I want you to just see, did your knees splay apart? Can you keep them straight back? And think, my forehead's down, and I lengthen and draw the head of the arm bones back, but draw the rib cage back as well. Keep the sits bones back, kick back, lift the head and chest, possibly lift the knees, Dhanurasana. Oh, goodness. See if you can stay for 2 more breaths. It's a big, big stretch. And release it down. Bring your hands under your forehead. Oh. Notice your heart rate. Hopefully you didn't feel any pinchiness in your low back. If you're really engaging the hips, the shoulders, and the spine long, it should feel good. So I try and keep the sits bones back. So I want you to try it one more time. Hopefully it felt good and you can repeat that. So forehead down, bend the knees, find the feet. Don't let the knees splay. Think sits bones back, rib cage back, shoulders back. kick back, lift. Low belly draws up to lengthen. You can rock if you want. This is Dhanurasana or boat pose. Good, and release. Push all the way back to a child's pose. And come on up to a seated position. And stretch your legs out long in front of you. If you want a blanket, you can. I'm not going to use one because we will transition to something else in a minute. So just kind of see if your kneecap and toes point up, and then draw your legs into the socket more so you feel like your sits bones are underneath you and you can lengthen up tall. And then feel supported, your hips, your shoulders, as you just bend at the hip creases and fold forward a little bit. Paschimottanasana. I press my heels down, really think low belly up so I can lengthen my spine. And then fold. One more breath. And come on up. Bend that right knee and bring the ankle across the left thigh. And then think, can I support to open that knee a little bit more? Or if you even want more stretch, you can hold and lift it. Nothing changes. Maybe even wrap the elbow, but look at how my foot is still active and pointing. I'm not tickling it. And then it just feels like a, rock the baby. That feels so good. I needed this. Good, now just grab the foot and the knee and bring it across these stack knee on knee. You'll feel it here. See if you need to adjust a little bit. And then maybe fold over here. Don't have to. If you're going, whoa, that's enough, then just stay there. If you want more, fold over. See if you can get your spine nice and long over the chin, over the top of the knee, maybe. Long back of neck. And then come on up and twist to your left. Other way, Kathy. There you go. Oh. Supported through the hips, through the shoulders. Lengthen. And unwind. We'll repeat that little sequence on the other side. So sit in Dandasana, make sure that things feel the way that you want them to. And bend the left knee, bring it across. Just pause there and think, how can I support myself so that I feel really strong and I'm just feeling the stretch in my hip. And then if you want more, you can lift it up, see where that goes. This foot is really active. Maybe wrap, support, lengthen. hard to have enough mobility in your hamstrings to get that. So just if be patient with yourself. This is totally fine. This is totally fine. Just do what feels like a really nice stretch for you. Enjoy the moment, whatever that moment may be. Maybe you can scratch your nose with your toe. And then bring stack knee on knee, knee across, hug it in, square everything up, support everything, and fold. And come on up, twist to your left. Why is it that one side always feels way different than the other? You're supporting and just using the strength of your core to twist. It feels really nice. Good. Unwind. Unwind the legs. Bend both knees. Hands behind your knees. Lengthen up. Lean back. Lift the shins. Maybe extend. Navasana. Now just keep thinking, I can round the upper back. I'm not going to round the lower back too much as I slowly lower down like one vertebra at a time. So legs extend longer, spine extends long. See how slow you can go and go all the way down. Oh. Good. Bend the knees. Get your spine in a good position. Bring your arms to cactus and then widen the feet. And just do a few windshield wipers. Good. And then pause in the middle. Hug both knees in. Roll up into a little ball. Maybe nose to knees. Good. And then lay back down and just hold on to your right knee and bring your left foot to the floor. You'll feel a little curve come back in your low back. So your right knee might come away from you slightly. And then extend that left leg long. So you feel supported. So you might have to bring the right knee away from you quite a ways to feel that. And then straighten the right leg. Interlace the hands behind the right leg. Keep the left leg grounded. And maybe move the hands up a little higher, maybe to the ankle. Maybe you can even reach the foot with your right hand, ankle or foot. If you bend the knee a little bit, you can get that. And then bring the left arm off to the side and let the right leg, so keep the left leg grounded. The right leg slowly moves off to the side. Sometimes we do this with a belt. I just want you to try it without the belt. See if you can support yourself. That left leg's really what's supporting you. Your core is supporting you, your left arm. And then bring it on in. Bend the right knee, bring that foot flat and hug the left one in. Keep the curve in the low back. You're not hugging it in so far that you round. You just feel like your spine's nice and long, your hips are supporting you. Extend the right leg. Again, the hips are supporting you, your core is supporting you. Straighten the left leg. Work the hands up to see where it takes you. If your left hip comes up, you're not going to feel good. So keep the hips square, the right leg really grounded, and then see where it takes you. Right arm comes off to the side just to support you. So your right shoulder, your right leg keep you grounded as you then slowly bring the left leg off to the side. Support, support, support. Right leg stays grounded. Right shoulder stays grounded. Left hip is square to the right. Come on back in. Release that foot to the ground. Bring both feet under the knees, hands by your hips, and just lift up to Setu Bandha. Just a little easy Setu Bandha. In the opposite way. Lift your heart. And lower down and stretch out for Shavasana. And there's no need to support this pose with muscle energy. Just allow the floor to support you, which is really the earth. Sometimes this is one of the hardest poses for us because we want to continue to keep supporting muscle energy. So just notice if you're holding that in any part of your body and let it go with the exhale. Relax the outer hips, the inner hips, the hamstring. Relax the shoulders, but see if you can feel like your heart lifted a little bit on the scapula. Gonna make a shelf for your heart to rest. And broaden the clavicles. Relax your jaw. Relax your inner ear. You continue to relax. I just wanted to share some thoughts from Marianne Williamson. I cannot control the universe, though I act at times as though I think I can. The universe is planned for divine right functioning, and my efforts to control it only interrupt the plan. Today, I release the reins that are not mine to begin with. I will not try to control the world on any level or in any way. I free all things and people from the shackles of my self-will. How different my life will be if I let go, allowing the universe to do its dance without my constant interference. Today, I release the thought that I know what is best for myself, for the world, or for anyone in it. I relax into the patterns of a divinely orchestrated universe, asking only to be guided where I can best fit in and be used in service to love's will. Begin. Just reconnect with your breath. When you're ready to start start to wiggle in small ways. Take your time coming on up to seated. Bring hands to heart center. I appreciate all of you for practicing today. Namaste. Thanks, guys. And before you guys hang up at home, I just wanted to tell